What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back again, live tonight from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the house. And boy, do we got some things to talk about tonight. All right, we're going to be talking about a strange request from Emmanuel Haro's father. We're going to be talking about the trash bag baby tragedy. Laken Snelling is the woman's name. And also, we're going to be talking about this crazy twist in Hulk Hogan's death. Y'all remember Hulkamania, right? Running wild. Ooh. Yeah, y'all remember that? We're going to be talking about that tonight. But first, I'm going to need you guys to leave your DNA all over that like button, like you're running wild and you ate your vitamins and said your prayers, right? I'm going to need your fingerprints, your DNA all over it, just in case you go missing, right? Dolly's going to come track you down. Gopher is the first one on the Dolly train tonight. The Blessed Express. You ain't riding with the best, and you ain't blessed unless you own the damn Express, all right? Also, make sure if you're brand new, you sub up the channel. Help us hit 81,000 subscribers. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of damn people. And I can't do it without the help of each and every one of you. And the way you can do that is just sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Of course, feel free to share this ugly face that you see right here on your screen on any social media platform that you choose. As long as it's not Pornhub, okay? PJ said I'm not allowed to be on Pornhub. So, or OnlyFans. I can't have OnlyFans. I can't have no Pornhub. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to? No fun. No fun. Take the fun out of everything. Take the fun just out of everything. Let me give my warnings. Dolly Visions for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a whole lot of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing as fact. Just my opinion. Completely satire. Everyone's innocent to proven guilty in a court of law, James. Right? James is guilty of jumping on the Blessed Express, though. But everyone else is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. And the biggest one of them all is do not, and I repeat, do not try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. You could die. Okay? And I am not responsible for that. Okay, so let's jump into it. Emmanuel Haro's father had a strange request, and PJ is going to read this article to you, and it just blows my mind. Listen, we all knew these people were guilty from the very beginning. And let me give a recap before we go into that, just in case somebody in here lives in a cave and they don't know who Emmanuel Haro is. We was at dinner tonight, and we were talking with the waitress about Emmanuel Haro, trying to explain to who he was, just spreading awareness about true crime.
Because we had our hats on.
So people were asking, hey, what is Dolly Vision? We were like, hey, we're true crimers, right? This is what we do. We into crime. What you into, right? What you into?
And she had a crazy story.
Yes, the lady, our waitress, we went to Paula Dean's, right?
Yes.
Country cooking, that shit was good. South Carolina, what is it? The boardwalk?
Yes.
At the beach. So we went to
not really at the beach, though.
It's really not at the beach, but it's near the beach. But we
boardwalk near the beach.
Boardwalk near the beach is what they should call it, like PJ said. But we got Poodle Land, Bird Mom has jumped on the Blessed Express. Who did I miss?
Vegas Gem 3992.
On the Blessed Express. You guys are great. So we went in there, and I had never eaten at Paula Dean's. It's a little off topic from true crime, but it's not. It's actually true crime. So the waitress asked us about Dolly Vision, and basically she had, because of her hats, she had a special needs son. And she was telling us that he was, what, 26? 27. And he kind of vanished. He wandered off. He eloped, with these special needs people, they run off sometimes.
She said he had the mind of a 12-year-old, and that she had just gotten out the bath, and he said he was just going to walk to clear his mind.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he wandered off. He took his medicines, would put him to sleep, and he slept in a ditch, and it rained, and her son drowned. And she said that the police thought she had something to do with the disappearance of her son. So they were kind of investigating her, going through her phone records and everything. And then, she was out searching for him. And she said she drove by his body like multiple times and didn't see him. And then somebody else that was out there searching found his shoes by the road and found his body. And he tragically passed away from sleeping in the rain. Crazy, right?
Going for a walk.
Just going for a walk.
Taking his sleeping meds.
Yeah, took his sleep meds, and heartbreaking. Yeah, so we gave her some, Dolly Vision business cards, and she said she was going to check out the podcast. And if you never ate at Paula Dean's, that food is good. It is.
Come hungry because you're going to eat a lot.
It was a lot of food. I know it's off topic, but we just want to share that with y'all. So, PJ, go ahead, jump into the Emmanuel Haro story. Read them the article about the worker at an adjacent store from the Big Five spoke out about an odd request of Emmanuel Haro. Emmanuel Haro went missing. His mother reported him missing, said he was kidnapped, that she was in the parking lot of a Big Five sporting store. Somebody said Ola came up, hit her in the back of the head, stole the baby, and so on and so on. Make room for me on the Blessed Express. Jen. Awesome. Right here, Renee says, can I ride on the Blessed Express? PJ and Dolly, I pray you're having a great trip. We are. We had a blast today.
We had so much fun.
We had a really good time.
And we met somebody.
Yeah. Turtles came out and seen us. A turtle came out and seen us. So we went to Ripley's, believe it or not, and seen a bunch of crazy stuff.
I don't think that stuff is real.
They had the Iron Maiden in there where you put people in it and it spikes them and kills them. That was pretty cool. We did a bunch of shopping, little gift shops. We went to the aquarium. We got to see penguins. We got to see sharks.
A sloth.
We got to see a sloth.
And a penguin named Jimmy.
Okay, can't make it up. He was the coolest one in there. Okay, of course the Jimmy penguin is going to be. We seen sea turtles, right? The sea turtles were cool. And then of course we went out to the boardwalk at the beach and went out to eat and all that good stuff. So we had and we got to play on the golf cart today, riding around, whipping it around the beach. So we had a good old time, and thank you guys for everybody that joined us. Way off topic, squirrels, but PJ, go ahead, break it down to them. What did this person say? Read the article.
Killer dad Jake Haro begged me for help after staging murdered son's abduction. I instantly knew something was off. A store manager has recalled her creepy run-in with the now accused child killer Jake Haro, as he allegedly pretended to cry while begging for help searching for his missing son. Jake and his wife Rebecca have since been charged with murder following the disappearance of their 7-month-old son Emmanuel. Liz Mesa, assistant manager of the Bada clothing next to the Big Five sporting goods where Rebecca Haro claims their son was kidnapped. Lots of pictures. Rebecca alleged Emmanuel was snatched after she was punched in the face as she was changing his diaper in the parking lot of a Big Five sporting goods in New Kaika, California. She reported her son missing on August 14th, but after police investigated, they allegedly noticed inconsistencies in her and her husband's stories. A week later, they were arrested and charged with murder and filing a false police complaint. They will be arraigned in court this month, but have denied murdering their son in jail. Interviews with local news outlets. The U.S. Sun spoke exclusively with Liz Mesa, assistant manager of the Bada clothing store situated next door to Big Five. Liz, 23, recalled the day Jake came into the store asking for help as locals scrambled to try and help the couple find baby Emmanuel. She said from the beginning, those living in the quiet community didn't believe someone could have kidnapped their son. Liz recalled, we closed at 7 p.m., so right after it happened, we didn't know anything, but the next day, the dad came in here, fake tears, like, if you guys know anything about my son. He was here by the front door. I was like, the detectives seem to be doing all they can. He wasn't crying. It was more heavy breathing. It didn't seem real. And he was wearing a hoodie too, which was weird because it was 90 degrees. He seemed in distress and he was rubbing his eyes. They were red, but there was no actual tears coming out. She claimed she told her colleagues she felt his story was suspicious when they came into the store later that day. And he wasn't out searching, he was just walking around the parking lot. It just felt off, especially as they're not from here, she continued. Locals here just thought, that's not Ukaipa. You might see a helicopter going around looking for a missing person, but not a baby. And then we heard the parents were from Cabazon. It's sad. My sisters are parents, and I just can't imagine someone doing that to a baby. Jake also has a 23 felony conviction for willful child cruelty after an arrest in Hemet, California, while he was married to his ex-wife, Vanessa Avina. In October 2018, their daughter, who was 10 weeks old at the time, was rushed to the hospital after Vanessa phoned 911. Doctors told police the little girl had an acute fractured rib, 6 ribs with healing fractures, a skull fracture, brain hemorrhage, swelling of the neck, and a fractured leg bone that was healing. An officer wrote in an affidavit for a warrant that the findings were indicative of abuse, head trauma, child psychological abuse, and nutritional neglect. Jake initially blamed the baby's injuries on Vanessa. Both eventually pleaded guilty to the charge in 23, but escaped jail. Vanessa's mother, Margarita Avina, spoke to the Sun, claiming Jake abused her daughter and she was not in her right mind, but insisted she would never harm her baby. The Riverside District Attorney has since revealed the girl, now 7 years old, is disabled with just 3% brain function and has been adopted by Vanessa's cousin. Store manager Liz says, to see he had a previous case against him for child cruelty, it's just crazy. Everybody wants them to confess. I heard the week before that Rebecca visited the store here and was asking around about whether there were cameras or not. Rebecca told the media outlets during interviews that the Big 5 retail store doesn't have security cameras monitoring the parking lot. It is not yet known whether police have security footage of the mother in the parking lot before or after the alleged kidnapping. Riverside District Attorney and Sheriff's Department, along with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, held a press conference last week after Jake and Rebecca's arrest. Mike Hestron spoke of how Jake avoided jail 2 years ago. The judge decided Mr. Harro deserved an extra break and gave him probation and basically 180 days of work release, which ended up being like community service, he said. He called the judge's decision an outrageous error in judgment. If you or someone you know is affected by any issues raised in this story, call or text the National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422-4453.
Okay, so what did we hear there? That basically Jake wasn't really searching. He was just rubbing his eyes. We've seen that a lot in missing kid cases where people are like this and they're rubbing their eyes. And it's almost like they're trying to rub out a tear.
Right? I know one person right off the top of my head,
Daniel, Jack and Lily's stepfather was the same way. He came up rubbing his eyes. And I still don't know why he was wearing a hoodie in 90-degree weather in the desert, right? Like Jake out there in the hoodie. Is there scratches on him from him fighting with his wife? What's with the hoodie? It's a little strange. But basically, the woman that was at the store next door, she didn't. Is that Alice? They put all the words together, so it's hard for me to make out who's what. It's on the screen.
Alicia Lockhart.
Alicia. Okay, Alicia. Daniel from Canada. Yeah, he was notorious for rubbing his eyes, doing the same type of stuff, but no tears pretending to cry, just whining, right? You know, oh, if you got my baby, feed him, change his diaper.
Always cold, and you were in California. Would you have worn a sweater any of those days?
Hell no. And listen, PJ, I tell you, I'm a really cold. Thank you, Vincent, for the $10 sticker. I get cold easy, right? Very easy. And no, I would have never wore a hoodie in that temperature. I would have died. You seen on the Tita, he fell out. Thank God I had that cold rag and that cold water for him. But he fell out from the heat. and he was wearing like a jersey, I believe, that day, and he was running around like Speedy Gonzalez, jumping fences and shit, and he fell out.
Medicine.
Yeah, and he was on that medicine, but you got to remember, I'm on medicines too.
Well, I think he had just had chemo.
Yeah, and he had chemo. So, I mean, it was hot. You see, I had to stay in the air condition most of the time because the camera was overheating every time I got out the car. So, I don't understand why he would be wearing that thick hoodie in those temperatures. But you hear they're saying that, they haven't confessed to anything. A lot of rumors came out about a confession and stuff like that, which wasn't true. We got 558 likes on this video. Real quick, do me a favor, guys. We're broadcasting live from South Carolina tonight. I'm going to need you to hit the like button. And once you do, I want you to shout out where you're watching from. All right. So time to represent your city, your town, your hood. Lolo's over there saying she's watching from the bed. I don't know if y'all can hear her barking. So once you like the video, let's see if we can get it up to 1,000. We got 1,200 people in the room. So that means only half of you have liked the video. Now, we know that Jake and Rebecca have a arraignment in 2 days. Okay. So really, technically, in 1 day, because it's almost 12 o'clock. They go to court the 4th. We will be in Florida on the 4th.
Yeah.
But we will make sure we come back and do a video on that arraignment and what our thoughts are on it, because I have a good feeling that they're going to plead not guilty to this. Rebecca is still saying that the kid was kidnapped, that she got Ola'd upside the head, right? She got hello'd upside the head. And usually if somebody's going to run up and hit you in the head, they ain't going to say hello to you before they hit you. And, it instantly put a bad look on Latino Spanish-speaking people because of what she said. Because, usually a white dude or a black person ain't going to walk up to you and say, Ola, and then knock you out and steal your baby. So it was almost like they were blaming their own people, And nobody, what the crazy thing is nobody really seen Emmanuel. Because they were saying that he didn't have his shots. And we don't know exactly when Emmanuel passed away. There's no proof of life on this child. When's the last time anybody had seen the child?
Nobody has said that. That is so concerning to me.
Ain't it?
Nobody said what usually you get a date that's for certain.
Like the grandma seen it. I seen the baby on Christmas.
Right. I was babysitting the baby for Christmas.
Nobody has seen this baby. This baby might not have been alive for the last 3 months.
Who knows?
All the pictures of him were when he couldn't even hold himself up. So, and at 7 months old, this baby should be sitting up. He shouldn't be noodle necked. You know what I'm saying? And all the pictures we see of him are like small, first 3 months.
Did you read Funky Monkey's chat? It said for $5 super chat, Fred Sanford faked his heart attack better than Jake and Rebecca faked their crime.
And you would think, being from the West Coast where Hollywood is, they would be better actors. But no, they were horrible actors. And really, everybody's coming out now and speaking. Really, it don't really weigh much in the aspect of everything. But what it does do, it keeps the story out there. It keeps people talking and the search alive and the pressure on the police to find this baby. So the more news that comes out on Emmanuel Haro, the better. Now, I'm going to truly, the neighbors have come out and spoke. The grandmother has come out and spoke. A lot of people have come out and spoke now. And a lot of people don't believe they're going to find this baby. That coyotes or animals may have got this baby, or this baby allegedly has been thrown in the trash. But the problem is we don't know when the baby was thrown in the trash. We don't know how long the baby possibly could have been in the landfill. And we knew instantly that the acting was bad, especially when she had a black eye and said she got hit in the back of the head. Well, how the hell did you get a black eye if you got hit in the back of the head? It didn't make sense. And, when we see these little red flags, that puts off the true crime radar to all you true crime junkies out there, right? I know it did for me. I was like, okay, she's lying, and of course I always take votes here to see what you guys are thinking. And everybody was on the same page as me. And I was like, okay, there's something to this, because I don't like to jump the gun and start blaming parents because people always say, Dolly, all you do is blame the parents. But the problem is, every time I blame the parents, it's the parents that are responsible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I try not to. You think I just get out here and attack a parents? There's lots of missing kids that go missing every day, and you don't hear me say anything about their parents. The only time I say stuff about parents is when I believe there's foul play, and I usually only cover cases that deal in foul play. That's why you hear me a lot on my channel, and it sounds like I'm blaming parents, is because they have to do something to get on my radar. And once you're on my radar, of course, I'm going to say something about this. And you look at it, I was one of the first people covering this story, and I was absolutely right about the parents. We waited out there until they went to jail. And I flew out there to wait for them to go to jail, and I was absolutely right. Now it's just a matter if the police did enough to get the evidence together to prosecute Jake and Rebecca Haro. Turtle Gang, thank you so much.
So, a lot of people in chat are saying that there was never a actual formal birth certificate for this child, and I've heard that.
Yes,
and now
that he may have been born at home.
Well, they're saying that they don't even believe basically that Jake or Rebecca fathered this child, which is a little bit.
That's a little bit of Ryan Upchurchish right there. Like, you don't believe Kylie Rodney exists, kind of stuff. I believe the kid is real. I believe the kid existed. I believe they are his parents, and I believe they murdered this baby.
Because why would they come up here and say somebody stole their baby?
If it wasn't theirs, why?
Too much. You're drawing attention to yourself.
Yeah, why would you? Right?
And if he didn't have a birth certificate, then I mean, why even bring it out that he's gone when there's no record of him being there?
And the reason I think they brought out that the kid was gone, somebody was asking about the kid.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a family member, a cousin, an aunt, a brother, somebody was asking about this kid that knew this kid existed. And they were like, okay, well, the time is now. We got to say something before somebody reports the kid being missing. I think they were worried about a family member reporting them. And Robin, thank you so much for jumping on the Blessed Express with us, Robin. And for all you guys, when PJ was talking, thank you for getting on the Blessed Express with us. So I think a family member may have been worried that a family member or a friend was going to turn them in. So they came up with this crazy story of the kidnapping. Now, like I said, in 24 hours, we'll find out what they plead. And I told you guys in the beginning that Jake wasn't leading them to this baby, that Jake was BSing the police. And so far, Dolly's been right. So I think it's more him pointing the finger at Rebecca in private to the police, saying, hey, this is the places she may have took the baby. And to the media, he's taken up for Rebecca, right? Oh, she's so good with the kids. Because listen, even though you're in jail, you get to see the news, the newspaper, right? So I'm thinking, and you heard him say he tried to talk to her and they tackled him to the floor and the police hurt his shoulder. So he's acting like the police are abusing him, right? Now we know the police should really take him in a room and black both his eyes, break his ribs, break his legs, and fracture his skull. To be fair, let's be honest, that would be fair because that's what he did to this little child. You know, and I'm an eye for an eye kind of person. You do these things, you deserve the worst. Now, I am going to roll back to this story of Jake and Rebecca Haro in just a minute, but I want to go into this next case. I want to get through them real fast, and then I'll recap on what we're talking about and discuss some more about Emmanuel Haro and what I think is going to happen and all that good stuff. Now, this next story coming out of Kentucky, a University of Kentucky cheerleader, right? Her name is Laken Snelling. That is her name. It's a hard name to say. Laken Snelling.
But with an N.
Yeah, Snellings. Laken Snellings, right? She's a cheerleader from the University of Kentucky. Well, apparently, this is trigger warning, guys, because this will upset a lot of you guys if you haven't heard of this story. She is the girl that's in my thumbnail in the middle picture in the thumbnail.
She's originally from White Pine, Tennessee.
From Tennessee, right? What's with these Tennessee people? This girl gives birth at home to a baby.
She self-admitted, so she said she did in fact give birth.
She said she gave birth to the baby, and she took towels to clean up the mess with, right? So she cleans up all the mess of giving birth, right? I don't know how she cuts the umbilical cord or whatever, but she takes the towels and the baby, puts it in a trash bag, and throws the baby.
Her roommate found the baby in the closet.
In the trash, in the closet, in a trash bag. So the roommate calls the authorities and reports an unresponsive baby. Newborn, right?
Brand new.
Newborn. And listen, guys, I don't even know how a woman could do this. How could you have a baby at home and do this? It reminds me of the Vizio girl that showed up at the hospital.
It's exactly the same.
Right? She showed up at the hospital.
She was also a cheerleader.
She was a cheerleader, and she said she had back pains. And she goes in the bathroom, gives birth in the bathroom, chews through the umbilical cord like a wild possum or something, right? I know it sounds nasty, right? But this girl chewed through the umbilical cord, wraps the baby up, pulls the trash bag out the trash, throws the baby away in the bottom of the trash can, puts the trash bag over the baby, right? And they say that baby suffocated to death. Mm-hmm. They let her out to go to school.
She put the liner on top of the baby. Like, yes. She literally put a brand new trash bag on top of the baby.
Y'all remember that? I covered it when it first came out, right? And I was like, I cannot believe this is going on. This girl needs to be in prison. And a lot of people believe because she was scared of her parents, right? That she did this. She didn't want her parents to know she was pregnant. So this case here at the girl from the University of Kentucky, the cheerleader, is right before this, when she was about 5 months pregnant, she was posting pictures with a little baby bump out partying like Casey Anthony with her boyfriend. So right now she was arrested. She was arrested, okay?
She's out on $100,000 bond.
But she is out on a $100,000 bond, and she was charged with abuse of a corpse.
Yes.
Tamper with evidence?
Yes. And concealing the birth of an infant. We're waiting for toxicology and stuff to come back to possibly charge her with more.
They may charge her with more once the autopsy comes back of the baby. But here's the thing. We know in these big cases like this, when things like this happen, it only takes like a couple days to get that back, right? So they gave this girl a $100,000 bond. No ankle bracelet. No.
They let her go home to her parents' house in Tennessee.
Crazy.
So she's not even in Kentucky anymore.
Right? So
she doesn't have an ankle monitor.
I can't believe this, right? So they're not charging this girl with the murder of the baby. So they're trying to act like she gave birth to a stillborn baby, that the baby was deceased. And Kentucky has done away with abortions, okay? In 22. So you can't have an abortion in 22. But they also have safe havens in Kentucky.
Yes.
Where you can show up to a hospital.
Allegedly, there was one down the street, like a block.
A block away from her. Ain't that some shit, right? A block away from her, safe haven, a fire department, any place, a police station, anything that's a safe haven for a child. And you can drop that child off and not be charged with anything, right? But she didn't do that. What gets me is she covered the scene. She cleaned up the mess. She threw all this away, and she wasn't going to tell anybody that baby was in a trash bag in the closet. If it wasn't for the roommate, right? Going in and finding this baby, can you imagine that you in college and you go into your roommate's closet and there's a damn baby in the trash can?
Don't forget pageant queen. Yeah, she's a pageant queen also.
Yeah, pageant queen, cheerleader, University of Kentucky student, like, wow, right?
And Jessamy says she lives 45 minutes from Ohio, where abortions are illegal.
Yeah. And, some people are trying to defend her actions by saying she was scared and, there's no abortion. So what was she supposed to do? If she may not have known she was pregnant. How do you go full term with a baby and not know you pregnant? Okay? How the hell is that even possible? Babies kick. You got morning sickness.
Sometimes.
Forget me not. Thank you so much.
Sometimes it's possible to. It's rare, but I'm telling you, as a female, it's possible to still have your monthly thing every month. And
but what about stuff moving around inside of you? What do you think? Oh, I ate some bad chicken and my tummy's rumbling. No, that's a foot kicking you in the
My
rib.
issue with this case is there's clear photos of, just remember we just discussed Austin Drummond not long ago and him and Caitlyn and their pregnancy.
Yeah, she had a baby bump.
There's literally a photo of Laken with her boyfriend at the time. He's hugged up behind her, holding her stomach.
Yeah.
In a similar position.
Yeah, no, when and they saying that the baby might not even be her boyfriend's.
Right.
Poodle and Birdman, thank you so much for your donation, $1.39 super sticker. That is awesome of you. Thank you so much. Big virtual hugs to each one of you guys getting on the Blessed Express with us tonight. Make sure you get a window seat. It could get bumpy. Right? Because we're talking about some crazy things here tonight. Now, myself, there's no excuse for what this girl has done. You know, you can say, well, this baby wasn't alive. Well, then she should have went to the hospital. She should have done a lot of things that she didn't do. There's a lot of steps you got to miss for something like this to happen. When she started giving birth to the baby, maybe that would have been the time to call 911, you know, and then this lady's done chopped off the umbilical. I don't know how you could do that. I couldn't do that. Listen, I'm glad I am a man. Okay, listen, I got man problems. I got to get up and work and stuff like that, but I don't got to give birth. That is something that is just unbelievable. And when my child was born, I missed it. I got there a few minutes late, and Tiff had just been born. And I thank God I didn't really want to see that. Right? I didn't want to see it anyway. So timing was perfect for me, because as soon as Tiff was coming out, I carried her to the nursery, but I didn't have to watch the whole give birth, sickening, nasty alien planet type stuff. So
see, this is part of the issue. Calissa Cat says they don't know if the baby was born alive, though, and many times babies don't breathe on their own when they first come out. She may have thought it was dead. Well, she should have called 911 when she had contractions and realized she was having a baby. And if she thought it was dead, she should have called someone for help instead of throwing away her baby.
Yes.
Period.
If she knew how to give birth to a baby at home by herself and cut the umbilical cord, she knew to slap the baby on the ass and clear its airway. That's what I believe. I know that as a man, and I don't even give birth to a baby. So I'm not buying it. I'm not feeling sorry for her. I was saying punish her like you would have punished any other girls. Leilani Simon threw her baby in the trash. What, she got 40 years in prison? Is she any better than Leilani Simon?
No.
Is this baby any different than Quentin Simon? No. Every life matters. Every life is just as important as another. And if you're going to punish one girl and give her 40 years for killing her baby, then this girl needs 40 years for killing her baby. We don't know if that baby ever had a chance because she didn't give it a chance. So to me, it's just as good as that baby was born alive. To me. So to let her get off scot-free and out on bond.
There is a whole series on TLC called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. But once they recognized they were pregnant and gave birth, they didn't just throw the baby in a
trash can. Yeah, right. You may have went that long and not known, and you know, maybe been a little chunky monkey and didn't realize the baby was kicking you in the ribs and you thought you had heartburn. Okay, I can give you that, but throwing your baby in the trash once you have it, you knew you was having a baby when a foot came out with JJ, right? Or head or whatever damn way it came out sideways. It blows my mind. I'll put on my seatbelt on. Okay, you better, right? Because this is a touchy one, because I'm a man. I probably see it a lot differently than most you women do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you women have carried babies, and I haven't. So you probably like, well, Dolly don't know what the hell he's talking about. He ain't never had a baby. I have. I just carried them in a different location. Okay, I just carried a bunch of them. Okay, a bunch of them in a different location. So, what do we do with these women out here that are hurting
it's a problem.
Their baby?
No matter what happened, the part about the end of the story where the girl gives birth and at some point in her brain decides it's a good idea to put, whether it's alive, whether it's not, whether possibly it was an accident, didn't know, whatever, you put the baby in a black trash bag. That's the problem.
Yes.
Period.
If she would have reported the baby like not breathing and called the ambulance and just had it at home, didn't know she was pregnant, I could live with that. Soon as she cut through the umbilical cord and threw the baby in the trash, that's when you are a criminal.
There's no excuse
right. And
for
she's
it.
18.
21.
Yeah, I'm just saying, at the age of 18, she's a legal adult. I know she's 21, but I'm saying even at the age of 18, if you 18 in a day, your ass is going to prison.
Alexi Treviso was 17 or 17, I think. She knew better. I'm sorry. It's not the age of 18, 17. She knew better. She knew what she did. She wouldn't have gone all of the steps.
And
I'm not
I
trying
thought
to
she was 18
everybody.
too, because when she got out, when she gave birth to the baby, she went to college.
She had just turned 18. But you're right, because when they were in the hospital, the mom wanted to come in.
She said, "No, you're 18." So she was 18.
So she wasn't. You're right.
So I'm saying, if you 18 in a day, if you 18 in a minute, your ass is going to prison. I mean, honestly, if you 16, they can charge you as an adult in this country and put you in prison anyway. So I'm just saying 18 on the, she was 19. Okay. I know she went to college, right? Didn't she was going to college. So I know she wasn't 17 going to college. And I remember the police wouldn't let her mom in there because she was 18. So this is one of those situations. Oh, well, she don't have no criminal record. She's a college student. Oh my God. Oh, poor her, right? She is a criminal.
Alexi.
Both of them are criminals.
And well, of course. But this new case, she hasn't had an actual. She hasn't gone forward with being fully even charged yet.
I hope they hit her with the murder.
But with Alexi, they're actually suing the hospital, and she's basically in college, living her best life.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend's going to the same college. Like, they're still allowed.
And she'll end up having another baby one day, right? Which is crazy. When you do something like this, you should never, ever, in a million years, ever have another baby. Okay? And we'll roll back into that too, but I want to get through this third story. And this one has to do with Hulkamania, okay? Running wild. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. Hulk Hogan, right? Now, listen, let me tell you guys, as a kid, I grew up in the 80s, early 90s. I was a huge Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Man Savage, ooh yeah, right? Fan. It was just, I came from the WWF era. And I know what you're saying, Dolly, it's the WWE. Well, when I was a kid, it was the WWF, World Wrestling Foundation. Then they turned it into World Wrestling Entertainment. But back then, you had like the Junkyard Dog, Ricky Steamboat. You had Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Man Savage, Lex Luger. You had a lot of the Junkyard Dog, Hillbilly Jim, Andre the Giant, like a lot of just the classic old school wrestlers. And I was a huge fan. I remember my first WrestleMania. And I remember when Hulk Hogan lost, I was a little kid. I was sitting there with tears in my eyes when Hulk Hogan lost. That's how big of a fan I was of Hulk Hogan. And, when Hulk Hogan was in the hospital, I had started watching this podcaster that said Hulk Hogan wasn't doing good and he would possibly was going to die. And I was telling PJ, I was like, PJ, they're talking about Hulk Hogan might not make it, that he might not leave the hospital. And they're saying, and his family saying he's okay. That was when
he had the neck surgery.
Yeah, he had neck surgery. So his family was coming out and saying, and Hulk Hogan don't never miss an event. He's one of those people that when he books and schedules something, he's always there. So Hulk Hogan had this restaurant and these stores that he was opening, and he wasn't showing up, right? So then people started going, well, listen, Hulk Hogan never misses anything. This dude, when he schedules something or books something, he's always there. To see him not be there is got to be really bad. And that's when they started rumoring Hillbilly Jim, Superfly Snuka, right? Ricky Steamboat. There was a bunch of them that it was really bad. But basically what it was he was having throat surgery. Okay. Same thing with Ozzy. Remember they went in and did a throat surgery on Ozzy? And then shortly after that throat surgery with Ozzy, where they went through the back of his neck, through his spine and into his nerves and into his neck.
With Hulk Hogan?
He died. Ozzy died. We seen that. We watched the funeral here live.
his wife's guy told TMZ Sports that the legend's phrenic nerve was compromised during the neck surgery.
Yeah, his frantic nerve was compromised. And when they called to report Hulk Hogan, people think he died of a heart attack. But what he died from was respiratory failure. He stopped breathing. And he had started having a hard time breathing since they did that neck surgery. So now they're talking about malpractice lawsuits against a hospital that operated on Hulk Hogan. Now, Hulk Hogan might not have died if he didn't have this neck surgery. And Brooke Hogan, which is the estranged daughter, right? She had rumored something to the effect of there was something else going on with Hulk Hogan's death, right? And Hulk Hogan was up there in age, and you got to remember there was years. 71 years old. That's pretty old. That ain't a spring chicken to be body slammed and years of steroid abuse. And to believe it or not, the steroids ain't what took him out. It's the injuries that he sustained when he was in the WWF of getting body slammed. And so many people believe wrestling's fake. What it is, it's scripted action. Some of the hits are real. Some of the slams are real. And the injuries are definitely real. The outcome is staged, but the performance is absolutely dangerous. It's super dangerous. I've seen wrestlers break their legs in half. Dawes broke his neck. I've seen people, the Blue Blazer died in the ring. These injuries are real. Sid Vicious broke his leg in half. Compound fractures, bone came out of his leg. There's injuries. There's no faking some of these. People, Stone Cold Steve Austin broke his neck. So there's been some really, really bad injuries in professional wrestling. And a lot of times what happens is these injuries go untreated. Okay? The Undertaker got hurt. Yes. The Undertaker got his nose broke. I remember when Rey Mysterio kicked him in the face and crushed his orbital bone, broke his nose, messed him up for a long time. Tom McDonald used to be a wrestler. Oh, God, come on now. Yeah, Tom McDonald. He was a wrestler in Canada. He ain't even American. Yeah, he wasn't a very good one. But, yeah, he was a wrestler for a little tiny – I mean, the guy's a tiny guy. He ain't big enough to be he could almost be a midget wrestler.
What does that have to do with Hulk Hogan?
It don't got nothing to do with Hulk Hogan.
No.
But, these surgeries that, the injuries led to these surgeries. And these surgeries, if you don't have a good doctor, bad things could happen. And Ozzy, right before he died after his neck surgery, he said, I wish I never had the surgery.
And the chat's telling you he had Parkinson's disease.
Who, Hulk Hogan?
No, Ozzy. We knew that.
Well, but
that's why he had the surgery to try and correct something, but it didn't fix it. And then it got worse progressively. I think.
Yeah, it did. And he said if he knew that it wasn't going to help, that he would have not done it. And not only that, but these surgeries got him hooked on drugs that he was trying to get off of, right?
Well, he needed the drugs for the pain.
Yeah, but he stopped taking all of it because he wanted to perform that last concert.
Yeah, he knew
and then, of course, he passed away, probably in pain.
Yeah.
Right? And at that age, it's bad because he abused drugs so many years that he didn't want to abuse drugs anymore. And at that age and those injuries, you really need these medicines at this point, and you can believe that they probably had him on some pretty strong drugs for the injuries. Bret Hart and the Warrior. Yeah, a lot of people have gotten really messed up from pro wrestling. So it looks like there may end up being, like I said, some class action lawsuits in the Hulk Hogan death, and Hulk Hogan's death might have been avoidable, right? And doctors.
Oh, wow. And Sharon Osbourne, I guess, said that they may sue the doctor about the surgery also.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So some of these doctors are not good doctors. And Ozzy said that, he had heard good things about the doctor. And but his outcome wasn't really good. But I did watch Ozzy's doctor talk about his neck and what they had to do to Ozzy, and his chances were for success was really low. They knew that going into Ozzy's surgery, right? But not Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, this was supposed to be a routine in and out kind of thing. And next thing you know, he can't breathe. He's on a ventilator. And then when he gets out a couple days later from the hospital, he stops completely breathing.
And they qualified or classified his cause of death as heart attack, but they're coinciding together. If you stop breathing, your heart will stop working.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped breathing. And
the call came through as a patient stopped breathing.
But he was having a hard time breathing.
From the surgery.
The surgery. So for him to stop breathing, did he stop breathing because of the heart attack, or did he stop breathing because he was already having a hard time breathing from this neck surgery?
Joan Rivers had nose surgery. Yeah.
Ozzy's funeral was where I lived in Birmingham, England. Cool. But just a sad situation for somebody iconic. You know, it's like Michael Jackson. You know, the whole giving him the drugs to put him to sleep at night because he couldn't sleep. That's a sad story because, listen, as one person could sympathize with Michael Jackson, it's probably me, because I've suffered from insomnia since I was a teenager, right? PJ, I go till I just collapse.
Yeah.
Right? It's something I've always done. I don't know. I'll sleep a couple hours a night, and
it's like you're scared you're going to miss something or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll go so many hours with very, very little sleep to where my body, it catches up on me. And then I'll sleep for 15, 17 hours,
and that's
straight.
Usually when your fans and your people that are avid watchers of you daily will be like,
Where's Dolly? Yeah, that's when Dolly is done. And because I go so much and so hard that I can't sleep unless I collapse. So I understood where Michael Jackson was coming from. He wanted a normal night's sleep. And I very rarely ever get that. And ever. It's 4 hours, 3 hours, maybe 5 hours. And then it could be 3 hours a night for a week and a half. And then my body just shuts down. It just can't take it anymore. Boom, and I'm out. But if I try to go to sleep without being on the verge of collapsing, all I do is stare at the ceiling. That's it. All night long. All night to the next day. Just stare till I finally get up and do something, right, to try to tire myself out. And that was a sad situation, of course, to see, him taking these. Now, I've never took anything to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure if I went to the doctor and said, "Doctor, look, I suffer from insomnia," they would give me some sleeping aids to help me sleep. But I don't want to take all that stuff, right? It's just one of those things. I don't like to take anything. I don't even like taking aspirin, to be honest. So thank you so much for your $10 super sticker. Can you say, Lori, thank you. I hate how they put the names jammed together like that.
I don't know why it's like that, because it's not like that when I do live directly from YouTube. I don't know if it's StreamYard or what.
I can't stand that. I wish they hadn't changed the names on YouTube like they're doing now, where it's at.
I think it's StreamYard.
It may be StreamYard.
When I stream directly from YouTube.
Okay, I thought it was YouTube. I don't
know. But
I'll have to try it when I stream from my phone next to see if it's.
Some people's chat does it, some people's doesn't. That's the only difference that I see.
Yeah, listen. So I don't take anything to help me sleep. It's just when I collapse, I collapse. So y'all don't see me live for a full day, that means I'm sleeping that 24 hours.
As you're saying you don't take anything, these people are like, take melatonin. He doesn't take anything. At all.
Yeah, I don't take
I have to fight with him to take the damn, what was that beet chewy that doesn't even taste bad that you won't take? For your heart. The beets.
The beets. So we got these gummies I got to take. They're beets. Red beets or something. And they're supposed to be good for whatever they're supposed to be good for, but I just can't stand taking them. They're nasty. And I just always been like that, like aspirin, Tylenol, anything. I ain't big on taking anything. Now, your battery is running low. Why I got
Are you
my
not plugged in?
I'm plugged in. Okay, that's not good. Why are we okay? Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it's
It
the
wasn't
outlet.
plugged in. It was the outlet because when you pushed it in, it lit up.
Yeah. Okay, my outlet's bad. The outlet's bad in this dumpy ass hotel we're staying in.
Take a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a glass of water before bedtime. He will not drink that.
I definitely won't drink
Dear
that.
God.
Anybody that knows me, I ain't doing that. I thank you for your help, though. You know, everybody's a witch doctor, but I've ran this long on what I do, and I guess I'm gonna run to the day I die the way I do it. Um, so back on track. I just wanted to get through those three stories with you because each one of them, of course, a little bit crazy. You know, we got to pray for justice for Emmanuel Haro because I don't think they're going to find his body. The girl, uh, Laken from the University of Kentucky, she is a criminal to me. You know, some people may feel sorry for her, but that's just my opinion. That they, you know, they're going to argue that this baby wasn't breathing and she threw it in a trash can. Well, the baby didn't have a chance to breathe. To me, it's still killing your baby. You know, to me, that's just my opinion on it. And of course, Hulk Hogan, I just feel bad because it sounds like his whole situation could have been avoided.
Somebody wants to know if we sleep in the same bed. Jesus Christ, we
Yes,
do.
yes.
Well, when I have to get up for work and he sleeps after he's done with the show, it's a little bit, but not, yeah.
Yeah, we sleep in the same bed.
And you take your heart medicine. This
Yeah.
is anything extra other than what he
I take
knows
what
he
the
has
doctor.
to take.
I take what the doctor tells me to take to keep me alive, of course. But I don't take anything extra, right? I'm like, if a doctor tells me to do it, I do it. If the doctor don't say nothing, I'm like, I don't do it. So, but that ain't got nothing to do with true crime. That has to do with me personally. I just shared that with you guys. Um, so the fourth is the arraignment for Jake and Rebecca Harrow. So I doubt I'm going to be live as it's going on, but I will be live that night because that day we're going to be in what Universal.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be at Universal while there. Melissa says I don't like taking anything either, but I'm a diabetic, so I have to take insulin. Keep strong, Dolly. Yeah, I mean I take what the doctor gives me for my heart condition, but that's it. I don't take anything extra. I don't take nothing for pain. Like when I'm sore or hurting, I don't be like, well, give me this or that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that. I just suck it up. You know, nobody ever said life was going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm getting older. I feel like I got arthritis in my hands sometimes, but I just take it. I just take it. It ain't no big deal. It ain't the end of the world. I just push through. You know, I'm a trooper. So everybody throw a little prayer out there that there's justice for Emanuel Haro. That's important, right? And to me, it don't look like we're going to find this baby. I don't want to say give up hope because I don't want people to do that. Hopefully, the police, because they say they know where the baby is, the general area of the baby.
But then they said they didn't say that.
Then they said they didn't, but they said they did. So let's go with that. They said they did, and hopefully they find him. And of course, if they find the body, Jake and Rebecca done. They're done anyway, but they'd be really done if we could find a location. Miss Pudding, thank you of where this baby is would be great. So you know the big thing is this, just so he can get the proper funeral.
That sounds so funny, Miss Pudding.
Have y'all seen the memorial for?
It's massive.
It is massive for Emanuel Haro. When I was there, remember we first started, there was like 2 teddy bears, and I put the little blue bear up there.
Everybody was literally freaking out because the little girl that walked by with the same Cookie Monster.
It was littler. My bear was bigger.
I figured, but like, so
everybody thought that she stole the Cookie Monster.
Right, and then like even the show after that and the show after that, people were like, Dolly, your Cookie Monster is gone. And it was just like,
no, the Cookie Monster's still there. But that memorial has grown huge. I'm talking about multiple tents, thousands of teddy bears, signs running up and down the street, like candles. It looks so beautiful out there to see the support from the community for Emanuel Haro. I could not believe it, how much it has grown because I got to see it today. Mile long now, Dolly, the memorial. Yes, yes. And, it took a little while to get this out there to everybody and get everybody there. But you see that everybody in the community has showed up and shown love for Emmanuel Haro. And I want all them people to be able to be there when they bury this child. That's the most important thing, because even though he wasn't our kid, this kid's loved, right? All these babies are loved. People love little kids, right? I haven't, like I said, I would have took that baby if I knew somebody was going to hurt him. I mean, not that I want to be a parent at 51, okay? But would I? If it would save that kid's life, you absolutely damn right I would have. I couldn't allow somebody to do that knowingly that there's people out there that would give this kid a good home and a good life, and they just hurt him and threw him away like he was a piece of trash. Most people love their children, right? And it takes a village to raise a kid, and you see the village showed up for Emmanuel Haro, and that's an absolute good thing right there. Thank God that there's still good people in this world, loving and caring people. GG, thank you so much for your $2 donation, jumping on the Dolly train. Dolly got to eat, okay? I like that food. We went to Paula Dean's tonight. It was good, but it was expensive. That place is kind of pricey, right? But the food was good,
all
though.
You can eat.
Yeah, but how much can you eat? I mean,
I wouldn't want to eat more than what I ate.
That's what I'm saying.
I ate more than enough.
They overfed us, but it was pricey. It was pretty pricey. So thank you for your donations tonight. All right, thank you guys. But it was good. I really enjoyed the food. So if you're in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area, definitely go there. It's good food. It was expensive, but I think it was worth it. It was worth the money. It was pretty good.
It was good.
You can't take out food. You can't take no food. That's what PJ said. I said, PJ, I can't eat all this food. She was like, well, we got a fridge at the hotel. You can take it with us. And the waitress was like, no, you can't. It's all you can eat right here. You can't take nothing with you. But the food is good. It is good. So let's pray for this little boy that he's found and he gets the proper burial.
It's been 4 months since Jack and Lily were reported.
Yeah, 4 months. Choo Capital Production. Thank you. Well, they're not in the title tonight, but I can talk about it for a minute. I got 7 minutes before I need to be in the bed, and stare at the ceiling. But I'm pretty tired. I got a lot. I might be able to sleep tonight. So, Jack and Lily, 4 months missing. Parents took lie detector tests. They passed them. They've been telling the police one thing. They tell the media one thing, and then they tell the YouTubers one thing. So there's 3 different stories to what has happened in the Jack and Lily case. And I believe that the RCMP in Canada has dropped the ball on Jack and Lily. That ain't in my title tonight, but I'm just going to, a quick rundown of it because it's been so long now since they've been missing. And the parents in this case, not out searching for their kid. Not out searching for their baby. To me, that shows you right there that they don't give a damn. Because if you did, you would be doing everything you could to find your child. And they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And it was the same thing with Jake and Rebecca Harro. They put out a flyer that said missing kid. And they disconnected their phones that were on the flyers. So you couldn't even call if you did find something on those kids. So any parent that don't seem to care that their kids are missing puts off a big red flag to me and makes them suspect as hell, right? Poor Jack and Lily. Will they ever get answers? I don't believe they will be found either. I believe, just my opinion, them kids left there on that 4-wheeler that was awful clean. And that blanket was found right next to an ATV trail. I believe them kids are in the woods, buried somewhere. And they may not never be found. It's sad. I look at Malaya Brooks as another Casey Anthony. Daniel as another Chris Watts.
Every day during the summer, like she's got a life. I just can't.
Every day that goes by, these people make me more sick to my stomach than ever before. Okay? Ever before. Now, you guys in the comment box down below, tell me what y'all think about Emmanuel's dad and his behavior. Also, what do you think about this University of Kentucky girl? What should they do with her? Now, this is just your opinion. Now, if you believe that she's a victim and this baby was, it's because of they banned abortion in Kentucky and she didn't have no options, let me know. Be honest. You ain't got to repeat, this ain't an echo chamber. If you think differently than me, that's perfectly fine. I won't be mad at you. Hulk Hogan, right? A real American hero, Hulk Hogan, right? The icon. Maybe a malpractice situation that cost Hulk Hogan his life. Wow. Wow, man. Hulk Hogan, I'm going to miss Hulk Hogan, to be honest with you. I really was a big Hulk Hogan fan. To see that man gone and it could have been avoided kind of pisses me off. But you guys let me know what you think about that. And of course, what do you think about Jack and Lily? The situation that's going on with Jack and Lily, with these parents, the police saying the parents are cooperated and there's nothing. Kind of blows my mind. But I will see you guys tomorrow night. We will be in Florida or Georgia. We'll be in Georgia or Florida somewhere tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't. Sub up. Help us hit 81,000. I can't do it without you. And you know who brings you the best in true crime? Dolly. Okay. And of course, PJ. She helps. She helps. She's the brains. Okay. She's the brains. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you. Peace. Oh, don't forget to get you a hat while supplies last. They'll ship out as soon as I get home. Okay. We don't have many left. They're what, $20?
Mm-hmm.
Get you a Dolly Vision hat. People are going to ask you when you go places, what a Dolly Vision. That's what they kept doing today, right? Everybody, what's Dolly Vision? What's Dolly Vision? Get you a hat. Okay. Get you a hat. Don't miss out. You're going to go be like, Dolly, can I get a hat? And they're going to be sold out. And they're going to be like, I told you to get the damn hat. You didn't listen. So you better get it. Okay. We ain't got but so many. Get them while they hot. Peace.